Opportunity. My name is William Goyabo Mnene. I'm the Center Director, Kari Kiboko. So I say welcome to Kari Kiboko. First, before we do much, I would like us to all stand so that we get one stanza from the scouts from our Kari Mwailu Day and Boarding Primary School from the national anthem. Then we'll have a word of prayer. Please.
Are ready for inspection, sir. Permission to follow my troop. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's a good performance for our youngsters. Thank you very much, Kari Mwailu.
Close orders, move. Return. By the left, by the right, forward, march. Left wing. Left wing. Eyes right. Eyes right. Eyes front. Eyes front.
Pigie makofi jamani hao. Si kitu wanafanya kila wakati.
Na tuombe wale walio na kofia wamtolee Mungu wa mheshimu. Mungu Baba, Mungu Mwana, Mungu Roho Mtakatifu, tunakushukuru na tunakuabudu. Wewe ndiye Mungu na hakuna mwingine kama wewe. Umetuwezesha kufika katika uwanja huu. Kuna wageni walitoka mbali, ukawalinda, ukawalete. na kuna wengine wako njiani, tunaendelea kuwalinda ili wakatufikie. Tunashukuru na tunasema ni asante kwa siku ya leo. Tunaomba uwezo wako na nguvu zako siwe pamoja nasi. Amani yako Bwana ikaweze kuwa pamoja nasi. Tunaomba utubariki na pia tunaomba utusunguke na uwezo wako ili tukapate ulinzi tukiwa mahali hapa kutoka mbinguni. Tunahitaji jeshi la mbinguni likaweze kutulinda, na hata pia wakati tuko hapa ukatushauri, ukatupatie Bwana hekima yako na hata ufahamu. Katika jina la Yesu Kristo tunaomba ili Mungu kaweze kuwa pamoja nasi. Bariki hata pia kikao hiki, bariki Bwana kazi hii ya utafiti, kwa sababu hapo ndipo tunapata hata chakula, kwa sababu wewe ndiye ulianzisha binadamu na ukamwambia alime, aweze kutil the land. Na ndio tunaendelea katika mpango wako Mungu wetu. Tubariki na uwe pamoja nasi katika siku ya leo, na tutaendelea kukurudishia shukrani. Vile ulitubariki tukija, pia utatubariki tukitoka. Na ni katika jina la Yesu Kristo tunaomba na kuamini. Amen.
Thank you. Our chief guest, the Minister for Development of Northern Kenya, Mr. Mohamed Kuti. Mohamed Elmi, the head of, deputy head of the EU delegation, permanent secretary, Minister of Agriculture, director of ILRI, all protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, I take this opportunity once again to formally welcome you to Kari Kiboko. This is an opportunity, an honorable opportunity for us, really. We feel very much honored to have you with us today. I know it's going to be a short period, and we have a lot more that we could have showed you besides what is in the exhibition, because we are endowed with a reasonable piece of land where we have a lot that is going on in terms of our research activities. And we invite you on any other time to really come and spend more time to see more of what we have at Kari Kiboko. While here, take the time to also tour the facilities of the research center, besides what you'll see in the exhibition. Because of time, I'm going to move very quickly here, and having invited you to Kari Kiboko, I would like us to be invited to the county of Makueni. So I invite the county commissioner, Ole Shepe, to please welcome us to Makueni.
And other Ariga, deputy head of EU delegation, PS, Ministry of Agriculture, the DC Makindu, all protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, as you have told, my name is David Oleshege, and I have no much to say but to welcome you as a government in this county, and I want to express our appreciation to you for the contribution that they have given in this center, and also on behalf of the government, we appreciate the input, because this whatever the outcome of this center is transferred to various parts of the country. So as a government, we appreciate. I want to stop and ask continue with the program. Thank you.
County Commissioner. And now I take this opportunity to invite, we are at a Kari facility, and it is one of the many Kari centers, but Kari is larger than what you see today. So I take this opportunity to invite our Director of Kari, Dr. Ephraim Mukisira.
Thank you very much for the opportunity granted to me to say a few words. the guest of honor, the Minister for the Development of Northern Kenya, the other dry areas, or Ahmed Elmi, the Deputy Head of Delegation, Madam Majan Sail, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Romano Kiome, the County Commissioner, David Oleshege, the Director General of ERI, who is here with us today, ladies and gentlemen, and all other distinguished guests, let me take this opportunity to really welcome you to Kiboko. Kiboko is one of our maybe 32 centers that we have, but it has a unique role to play because the arid, semi-arid lands is where we have the greatest potential that we can advance further, moving from high potential, high rainfall to low rainfall, and maybe sometimes regarded as low potential, but they have a high potential. And KRI taking the responsibility to undertake agricultural research, develop technologies, knowledge, information, and transfer or catalyze the process of transfer of these technologies to many vulnerable communities out there. We take this role very, very, we take it to be a very important role to us. Our partners who are here today, and what you have seen even in the demonstration today shows that we are not doing it alone. We are doing with our partners out there, and we hope that this trend that we have taken up will continue to add value to the process of transforming agriculture sector and to giving a room, space for the farmers as they do their job also to live lives that are better. And this is why we are seeking support from many of our development partners. Our guest of honor, let me take this opportunity to say EU has been the greatest partner in transforming these arid and semi-arid lands. And therefore, we do not take it just for granted. We would like to see this support continuing to build until every other Kenyan living in this area gets to understand that the government is behind development in these areas. And therefore, I would like to take this opportunity for those who are here today to actually argue, to take more time, even after the event is over, to move around and get information. And therefore, our KRI Research Institute is out there to serve the farmers. It's a public organization, and we hope that we can make ends, we can move faster. And I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the Minister of Agriculture, the Permanent Secretary who is here today, who was once involved in a lot of activities in these ASAL areas, and memories of it still linger in his mind as we walk through. And therefore, you are key to the transformation of this area. And personally, when I walk to Turkana, I'm happy because these are areas we never went to. When I go to Marsabit, I'm happy. These are areas we never went to. When I go to Garissa, I'm excited about the development there. And therefore, we are with you in this great, great mandate that we have. And hopefully, Vision 2030, as you see it, really emphasizes to move towards those potential areas. The choir, you will be given time to sing about Vision 2030 later. Thank you very much. And I would like to take this opportunity to welcome the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Romano Kiome, to make a few remarks. Asante.
Thank you very much, Dr. Muksira. I'll speak from here because I need to read my notes and I can't hold both the microphone and my notes. but I hope I'm visible to the cameras and to all of you. I was telling my ministers as we were sitting here, sometimes this list of protocols, we don't know whether we need to do it all the time. So I prefer that we say, ladies and gentlemen, but of course we recognize and appreciate. Because sometimes you never know, even the farmers who have been attended here and the community, we actually appreciate so much they are coming. Therefore, I wish to appreciate our minister for Northern Kenya and Arid Lands, who has taken time to come. And I want to appreciate the deputy head of delegation. I will be saying a little bit more about the European Union, Ms. ASAL, and all the people who have been involved in organizing this event to make this day happen. I want also to own up that it was our idea as the ministry that is coordinating this Kenya Rural Development Program, that we actually launched this program together, because we started implementing it about 1 year and a few months ago. But it's such a large program and such an important program in our agricultural sector development strategy that we felt we take it as an opportunity to come together. All of us as players in this program, especially our development partners and ourselves, so that we can take a little view of what we are doing. And we feel that instead of having this in Nairobi or in a town, let's take out time out here where we can even see the people actually who are the beneficiaries of this work. I was telling the people who have organized, maybe we haven't seen many of those people. I would have liked to see a few more pastoralists. I'd like to see a few more local farmers who are involved and who are actually the beneficiaries of this program and many of the work that we do as governments. So we want to thank everybody for coming up and appreciate taking time off. Our Minister, in your busy schedule, the whole team from the delegation, in their many activities, we know we don't take it for granted that we could have been doing relatively very much more important bits, but you take this also as an important one, and we thank you and appreciate very much that you are welcome. And of course, the administration and our staff. So, at forefront, that's what we'd like to be registered as the ministry that is has the responsibility of coordinating or the producer responsibility of this program. Allow me, all of you, for me to say a little bit more about the Kenya Rural Development Program. I know many of you or some of us will be saying more about it, but this is a program that has a little bit of long history, but keeps on transforming and fitting into the sectors or fitting into thinking of the day. Right now, as agricultural sector, the program we are implementing in totality is the agricultural sector development strategy. And when this program, Kenya Rural Development Program, was conceived, at the same time we were doing the the agricultural sector development strategy, and it fits very well. If you look at the medium-term implementation plan of KSDS, you'll see there's a major component of arid and semi-arid lands. And this program fits squarely into supporting that component of arid and semi-arid lands, which is actually an emphasis in the agricultural sector development strategies. And in fact, one of the areas where we have identified a gap in terms of support is that particular element or particular component of ASDS in our MTIP with respect to arid and semi-arid lands. Now, this program is supporting major livelihoods. Research, of course, is supporting the overall coordination. It is supporting increasing agricultural productivity. Or in some other areas, we have already gone to the phase of commercialization. In arid and semi-arid areas, we still have got a lot to do to increase productivity. Yield per hectare, yield per, total expansion. We have a lot to do, and these are some of the areas that this program is supporting. We have seen the pasture improvement, we have seen variety improvement, and this program is very supportive, or is as a major component in increasing agricultural productivity, including activities such as distribution of orphan crop or traditional crop. We have seen how crops such as sorghum and millet have been able to move very widely in this area,
because of the support of the program. But one of the areas this arid and semi-arid areas suffer from is drought. And this program, again, has been very instrumental in supporting the drought contingency fund. We know when drought comes, really there is nothing we can do. Unless we do something very quickly, people die. And sometimes there's no money. So by having a fund that we can do something quickly, we feel that that has been will be very helpful, and we're very grateful to the European Union as actually the first donor to put that seed fund. We require much more than the fund that they have put, but that expresses or shows how important or how the European Union takes the support to arid and semi-arid areas, and especially the lives of people in that areas. Of course, to support the whole value chain, we did some research, and that's why we're in a research center. And I want to mention that European Union have been involved in that for a long time, took over the support of research from FAO in arid and semi-arid areas. Before it was FAO up to about 1986-87. And the European Union took up support of arid and semi-arid areas from that time, 86-87. I found them implementing personally. I was coordinating that program from 1992, and they built all the research infrastructure you see in arid and semi-arid areas. And of course, the starting of the long-term research. So in that regard, I would want to appreciate on behalf of everybody that actually the existing capacity of research in arid and semi-arid areas, we owe it very much to the European Union. We have a new area that the European Union started to take up, the European Commission started to take up recently, that is in coffee, especially with respect to multiplication of seeds or seedlings and disease control. And that program has also been very helpful. The European Union, all right, the European Union started earlier in terms of STARBEX support, but now there's a specific component in research supporting the multiplication of coffee seedlings through tissue culture, one of the state-of-the-art modern laboratories. I want to mention to the European Union now it is complete with the project. We have not actually even officially opened it because we have been waiting for a big delegate. We haven't been able to find a big politician to come over. But we hope we will. Again, that has been major support. When you see coffee reviving, it's an input from the European Union. Livestock research and livestock development in arid and semi-arid areas is really the hallmark of European Union support. We will be able to look at some of the livestock before we leave because we have started looking at them in the interest of time. But now if we save some time, we will be able to see some of the livestock in terms of jump pricing maintenance, because we would have lost some of them were it not for that. For support from the European Union, some of the improvement or even of as important animals as goats. People don't know how important some of these small ruminants are in the livelihood of people in arid and semi-arid areas. You go to places like the very relatively dry areas, the whole economy is dependent on goats. You look from there, you see so many goats, you wonder whether they will survive there long. But it is very important for us to keep improving these animals so that the communities in arid and semi-arid areas can be able to benefit, and all that we've been able to do with the support of the European Union. I want to mention others like we have done in the past, even breeding of camels. We thought we could breed many camels with the support from the European Union, and we couldn't go very far because breeding of camels is a very long time. I keep telling a story whereby we found out that actually the gestation period of a camel is about 5 years. So before you can get F1, we have to take 25 years. And nobody is interested to take that long to carry out a certain research like that. So these are some of the things we find, and but in any case, camel is such an important animal in arid and semi-arid areas that we need to keep, especially maintaining the jump pricing and improving or making sure that it continues to get the support it requires. So I thought I'd take a little bit of time to do that history, because the purpose we are here is to remind ourselves that so that we can do better. And the programs that we're implementing right now are related to the history and to the current times. So with those remarks, I would like us to move to the next level and move with the program. So I would like to invite the Deputy Head of Delegation, Ms. Majana ASAL, to give us some remarks and to participate in this official launch. Ms. Marcel, please.
Director Generals, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure and honor that I am here today for the launch of the Kenya Rural Development Programme. This 66.4 million euro 5-year programme is an important contribution to respond to the development needs of rural population of Kenya, who represent about 80% of the total population. This program also responds to the objectives set in 2 key Kenya government policy documents, namely the Vision 2030 and the Agriculture Sector Development Strategy. More specifically, the EU funding will contribute to 3 major areas within the productive areas of the country. It will connect farmers to market via the current government scheme of voucher and credit guarantee scheme, continue the support of the Kenya agriculture research, and support the seed production of indigenous crops. In the ASAL areas, EU funding will further contribute to the drought contingency fund and development of better agriculture practices, water conservation and livestock. The program will continue to support the coordination of the activities of the different governmental institutions in the sector along with those of other development partners. This program, therefore, is further strengthening the long-standing partnership that Kenya and the European Union are enjoying. The visit to Kenya last week by the High Representative of Foreign Policy and Vice President of the European Union, Baroness Catherine Ashton, is a testimony of our good relations and has shown how deeply the European Union is committed towards the development of Kenya and the region at large. At this point, we look forward to a democratic, transparent and peaceful electoral process next year, which could be a milestone for the country in its path to sustainable democracy and economic prosperity. The EU is committed to assisting Kenyan authorities to deliver such elections. It is towards this end that the European Union, together with its member states, is the biggest external funder of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission and provides support beyond that through our bilateral partnership. The European Union has also been invited to provide an election observation mission. In terms of cooperation, the European Union today remains one of Kenya's largest development cooperation partners. The European Union's support has been over the years multidimensional and multifaceted, focusing on areas such as improved trade relations, development cooperation and humanitarian aid, the fight against piracy, and support to regional bodies including the African Union, East African Community and IGAD. With the completion of the 10th European Development Fund in 2013, we are now starting the programming of our future cooperation for the period 2014 to 2020, covered by the 11th European Development Fund and other cooperation instruments. Our future cooperation will be more focused on where EU funding can have the greatest impact. This includes on the one side human rights, democracy and other key elements of good governance, and on the other side a more strategic support to inclusive and sustainable growth. Given the importance of the agriculture and livestock sectors in Kenya, which account for about 80% of employment and contributes towards 30% of the GDP, this sector and rural development in general will remain without doubt one of the key priority areas of the European Union cooperation in Kenya. It is my sincere hope that we shall all join forces and pool our various resources together in ensuring that this program plays a significant role in promoting adequate solutions that will respond to the needs of a large population at risk, while promoting a more productive agriculture sector. Doing so, the European Union, like the other partners present here today, is convinced that our cooperation will contribute to the inclusive development process of Kenya. It is my hope that this initiative will go a long way towards addressing the food insecurity and poverty issues affecting poor agriculture and livestock households in the region. Finally, let me take this opportunity to thank the government of Kenya, and particularly the respective ministries, development partners and civil society organizations that have already portrayed their support towards the program. It's my hope that this will be sustained for the better of the people of Kenya. Thank you very much.
And therefore, it is only right for you, as the minister responsible for northern Kenya and arid and semi-arid areas, to officially launch this program, sir. I invite you. Thank you.
Thank you, Bwana Pierce, the Deputy Head of the Delegation of the European Union, ASAL, the Director of KRDP, the County Commissioner, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the official launch of the Kenya Rural Development Program. We are honored to have so many leaders and professionals from the agricultural and rural development sector here today, including the international agricultural research institutions. Thank you for making time to join us. I would like to extend a special welcome to the many farmers here today. This event is much more than a launch. It is also a demonstration of great research work that KRDP is doing here in Kibogo. I am pleased to note the emphasis placed by KRDP on ensuring agricultural research delivers practical benefits to farmers. I hope that you will find much to interest you among the displays and the demonstration sites. And as the PS has just invited you, it would be good you spare a bit of time before you go to see more of that. I believe the Kenya Rural Development Program represents some of the best development cooperation between the organization here in Kenya and with our international partners. I'll mention three things. First, when I look at the list of projects that fall within KRDP, I'm struck by the potential for excellence in research and practice, which this network of organizations provide. This is clearly illustrated by the admirable displays you have seen this morning, for which I thank all those involved. It is also evident in the collaboration between the international organizations such as ILRI and FAO and their Kenyan counterparts, and in the wide range of activities being carried out under the auspices of KRDP and its partners. I would like to commend the Director of KRDP for the work of his institution and thank him for his generous hospitality here today. Second, the KRDP is a broad-based program within the agriculture sector which recognizes and addresses the needs of a wide range of producers, from coffee growers to poor farmers to nomadic pastoralists. This is unusual in a program of this kind and greatly welcomed. It reflects the rich diversity of the arid and semi-arid lands, a diversity which is only to be expected given that the ASALs account for well over 80% of our country. It is also an example of how our efforts in different fields work can be harnessed to improve collaboration, efficiency, and learning. In this regard, I congratulate Dr. Kiome for his leadership of the agriculture sector, for the way in which he and ASCO have strengthened the quality of partnership between various ministries and institutions involved. My third reflection is on the international cooperation. The European Union has been one of Kenya's most steadfast allies, as the PS has said, It has shown that it is an institution committed to long-term partnership, and it welcomes innovation and new thinking. For example, the index-based livestock insurance project in Marsabit, supported by EU and its member states, is an excellent example not just for innovative risk management, but how, with thought and imagination, basic services such as insurance can be brought within the reach of those previously excluded. From the perspective of my ministry, European Union is also an institution which understands the distinct characteristics of drylands and the unique qualities of pastoralism. This has been very clear to me in my interaction with visiting parliamentarians and commissioners, and from my understanding of the current debate in Brussels. For this and much more, I thank the delegation and request the Deputy Head of Delegation to convey my warm appreciation to the Ambassador and other colleagues. Ladies and gentlemen, KDRP is a particular focus on the ASALs of Kenya. One of the major threats to food security in these areas, and more generally to the national development, is drought. A drought management component of KDRP is the responsibility of my ministry, and I would like to say a few words about them. From 1985, the drought management systems in Kenya has evolved to the point where now we have a permanent and specialist institution like the Drought Management Authority. I would like to acknowledge the presence here of the chairman of the Drought Management Authority, Mr. Ibrahim Hussein, and the acting CEO, James Oduor. I thank them and their staff for their commitment to end the suffering caused by drought and for their tireless efforts to operationalize the authority. The technical assistance which my ministry now receives through KDRP and previously through the Drought Management Initiative has been instrumental in getting Drought Management Authority up and running. It has also underpinned many of our other initiatives, including consultations on ASAL policy and the launch of ASAL Stakeholders Forum, July this year. The support we receive is of high quality, is of the highest quality, and for that I also thank Luigi and his team. Ladies and gentlemen, exactly 1 year ago today, the government of Kenya approved a strategy to end drought emergencies within 10 years. The document was subsequently endorsed by regional heads of state and informed the drafting of the Nairobi Declaration, which is now being championed by IGAD. In the strategy, the government signaled a major shift in our understanding of drought management in two important directions. First, we recognize that we need new institutions and financing mechanisms. I have already mentioned the LMA. We have also completed paperwork for the National Drought and Disaster Contingency Fund, which will help us respond much more quickly at the earliest sign of drought stress, and thus prevent downward spiral in crisis. I fully expect the contingency fund to be in place within the next few months. This initiative must now be complemented by action on global stage, for example, increase and fast-tracking or adaptation financing. Second, the government recognizes the repeated drought emergencies are not necessarily the sign that drought itself is becoming more severe or more frequent, but rather Kenyans are becoming more vulnerable to its effect. Drought emergencies will only end once we invest in things which reduce vulnerability and support development. Kenya's growth and development, as Vision 2030 explains clearly, rests on some critical foundations. These foundations for development include infrastructure such as roads, electricity, and water, peace, an educated and a healthy population. However, in all these areas, the arid lands lag behind behind other parts of Kenya. It is not reasonable to expect drought-affected communities to thrive when basic building blocks for their livelihoods are not in place. If there are no roads, farmers cannot bring their livestock to markets in a healthy condition. If there is no literacy, farmers cannot make best use of their training and credit on offer. And if there is no peace, nothing flourishes. Once we understand drought emergencies and indeed food security in that light, we can see that our efforts must extend far beyond the agricultural sector and that we must enlist the support of other actors. Only once this broad enabling environment is in place will individuals be able to maximize their potential and enjoy the basic rights and freedoms to which they are entitled, including freedom from hunger, Article 43 of our Constitution. As I've mentioned, peace is one of the foundations of development, and I would like to make a few remarks on security in light of recent clashes in parts of the arid lands. When I was in Mandera recently, it was clear that development projects in the area have stalled because of conflict. It was also clear that an effective response to conflict is being hampered by insufficient security personnel and inflexible budgetary system. Issues like these need urgent attention if security is to be ensured. In Banissa, which is the epicenter of the Mandera conflict, it had an OSPD who had only a co-pilot and one driver. So that's not acceptable. Ladies and gentlemen, the persistence of conflict in arid areas is also a sign of weak institutions. We are about to embark on a complex process of devolution. This will be challenging for all counties, but particularly for those in areas where institutional capacity is low, trained professionals are few, politics is still predominantly clan-based. Agriculture is a devolved function. I would therefore like to encourage KRDP and its constituent projects to reflect on how they can support the new counties' institutions, particularly in arid areas, so that we have level playing field for the counties as much as possible. Our failure to address these chronic challenges means that we have also failed to realize the potential of the arid and semi-arid lands, which the director referred to earlier. Our economy, including our agricultural economy, has rested for far too long on a very narrow geographical and productive base. Agriculture is the economic backbone of this country, and the dryland farming and pastoralism have both much to offer. However, we must never forget that their value rests not just in the foreign exchange earnings and the gross domestic products, but in the stewardship exercised by the dryland communities of Kenya's precious natural resource and cultural heritage. I'm therefore glad to lend my support to a program which recognizes this potential in all its forms. The European Union is providing substantial funding to KRDP worth more than 66 million euro. On behalf of the Kenya government, I would like to thank the delegation once again for its generosity and the quality of its partnership, and thank all of you for participating in today's celebration. I now declare that the KRDP is officially launched. Thank you.
My assistant minister to come, a bit late, so he has just come, and I will ask him to say something. Maybe he can say why he was late.
Thank you, PS. You know why I was late. I was officiating another function in Machakos County. So that's why I'm coming late, and I seriously apologize, to everybody. I would like to take this opportunity really to thank our development partners, especially EU, for supporting this program. In fact, where it is being launched is the best, place, because this is the area which is really affected year in, year out by drought. And this research is going to help the ministry and Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Livestock, to do a thorough research on different areas. So this is something I would like to say thank you, join my colleague, Minister for Arid and Semi-Arid, to say thank you on behalf of the Minister of Agriculture and the government, for that gesture of trying to help us. I can assure you the money will go to where it is supposed to go. With the PS here, is a man who never takes things lightly, and I can assure you it will do what it's supposed to do. And again, where KRDP is involved, we have seen what KRDP has done. They have given us a lot of help to fight famine and so on. We especially, when it comes to coming up with new seeds, high yielding, highly maturing, and so on, they have done a very good job. So thank you, KRDP, and we are expecting, because the rains are about to come, we are expecting you to give us more, because the food in this area failed. We didn't have enough rains, and we expect the farmers to be given. Na wao wakulima, ninawauliza ni wakati sasa wa kutengeza mashamba yenu, msiache mpaka mvua ikuje. Hii ndio ile wakati ambayo inatakikana, muangalie muone mashamba yenu iko tayari. Na kwa niaba ya Wizara ya Kilimo ninaambia nyinyi, mutapewa seeds hasa kama ndengu, maharagwe, ile ambayo inasaa na haitaki mvua nyingi. Na kama vile mlisoma kwa magazeti, tuliambiwa ya kwamba kutakuwa na mvua nyingi, kwa hivyo tengeza shamba na uwe tayari. Tuongojee hiyo mvua, ndio tunaitaka. Ikiwa mingi, huko ndio tunapata chakula mingi. Kwa hivyo with all, I would like to say welcome and thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think the speeches that we have heard here have actually raised our hearts to another level in terms of understanding the program that has been launched and where we are going. And I would like to appreciate the Honorable Minister really for taking time to come over. Having come to this far, we would like to invite the acting head of the FAO, country FAO, to just make the final, remarks in terms of vote of thanks. Thank you. Welcome.
Honourable Minister, Assistant Minister, Permanent Secretary, Assistant Head of Delegation to the EU, all protocols observed. Mabini na mabwana, hamjambo. Naona wali ambao walinitangulia waliongea Kizungu, Kiingereza, lakini naomba ruhusa kuwafuata. Hakuna ruhusa. Jaribu. Wameniomba kusema asante sana kutokana na wale ambao wanaathirika na hiyo mradi KRDP. There are many people that are already benefiting from this program, and many more that will benefit in the future. So I've just been asked to say a quick word of thanks on behalf of those people to the ministries that are supporting this program, to the research institutions that are supporting this program, and to the European Union for all the work you've put in developing this program and for funding it. Thank you all very, very much.